wherever and whenever you are, and welcome back to the depths of the Underdark, in the Durgar city of Gracklestug, and the various insidious, creepy things that are going on. A massive hello and thank you to North Shore DM. I hope the rest of your session was fantastic. Great to catch the beginning. And thank you so much for the subscription. Cousin Daisy, are you back from your trip yet? I hope it was fantastic. And Lord Kosh, good to see you as always, my friend. Alright, so, and there's a Buns approaching. Hello. Alright, so everyone, let us quickly say a few wonderful thank yous to some wonderful people. First and foremost, the incredible Sirenscape, who gives lots and lots of fantastic music and sound effects for you to use in your games whenever you are playing, be it online or in person. You can try them out for free. You have access to all their different stuff, and if you cancel within the first month, there is no charge. Or you can come along to one of our streams where we get a sponsorship and get yourself a free Super Siren subscription for a short while at least. I shall let you know the next time that is happening. Do keep an eye on the socials for that. Twitter in particular. Okay, now, they are incredible purveyors of music and sound effects for all of your games. They have modules and setups for most of the official Wizards stuff and lots of other games as well. There's some Pathfinder stuff in there and some different board games in there. There are sci-fi things in there as well. It's not just fantasy stuff. You can try them out, and if you fall in love with them, you can be a Super Siren and get access to all of that forever. Now, as we are carrying on talking about music and all that fine stuff, do not miss out on the incredible YouTube channels of Dark Fantasy Studio, Travis Savoy, and Epic Journey. Incredible music that's free to use in your games. There are links to their pages on our VODs on YouTube. Link to our YouTube channel over there in the chat. And also on Patreon as well, also linked in the VODs, you will find the incredible Will Savino, another purveyor, very, very prolific purveyor of fantasy music. Hard to keep up with sometimes. It's like email inbox is just inundated with tracks all the time. Very much worth the patronage and the fairly reasonable cost that is. Now, that said, I think that's everything. Oh, no, let me do a shout out to our spectacular artist. Look at that character art. It's beautiful. You know it's beautiful. We know it's beautiful. You should check out... Now, how did I do this? Out of the Abyss art. Yay, got it first time. Okay, yes, do check out the amazing character art from Saladman, aka Ryu Toshi, on Instagram. There's their link there. Have a look at that. And they often have their commissions open. So if they're closed when you go over, just give it a little sec and you can find out your chance to find them. Amazing art and pretty reasonable too. It's got that nice little kind of anime kind of look to it. That's like kind of Japanese flavor to it, which, as you may or may not know, I am based in Japan, so we like to have that in our art for this wonderful, wonderful campaign with these wonderful, wonderful players. Speaking of, let us say hello and find out who they are, who they're playing, and where they're at right now, after I give this little rundown of what happened last time. At the start of session last week, Corbin awoke from a drunken stupor in the bottom layer of the Growler's lair, the tavern where they're all hanging out with all their NPC army, and they found out that Alora had been whisked away by a mysterious person as the guards from her home city came to whisk her away because they had told her that she was the next in line for the rulership of their fair elven city, and she did not want to do that. So she found this other little Swerfneblin who said, hey, let's do this instead. And she was like, yes. And boom, smoke bomb later, they disappeared. Ignatius and Zakan, after a leisurely pint or two and a bit of a pie, went off to do a bit of shopping and to meet, with some of the locals, some of Zakan's old buddies. Again, just leaving, Corbin there to snooze things off. They would be fine. The other NPCs were there. They were sure that Eldith, their shield dwarf scout friend, would keep a good eye on him. Oh, them, sorry, excuse me. And then, yes, no is the answer to that. And Corbin woke up to find her friends gone and was accosted by Sarith, their drow friend, who urgently asked, Corbin, can you hear the music? Can't you hear it calling to us? And they went off together into the Blade Bazaar, the marketplace, where they saw a strange little Darrow with a Displacer Beast tentacled hat. And they followed him because he was going in the right direction, and he looks like he might know some sneaky ways. And they were right, and they followed him over the walls, past the guards, into the restricted southern section of the city, and successfully stealthed their way through the pillars and buildings down there, down to Lordager's, I don't know how to pronounce it, Furrow, the massive chasm that runs through the city, you can see there on our nice little map. As they went into that residential area and made their way across to the West Cleft district outside the city proper, where Duragar fear to tread, because that is the kind of ghetto area that all of the Darrow live in, and any Duragar going in there would just get lynched and just attacked right away. So they do not go in there, but they have a massive gates and barriers and guards all over that. Then they snuck over into that rather spooky, chitter-chatter filled region before disappearing through a crack in the cave wall into some caverns below, secret caverns that the Duragar apparently don't even know about. Meanwhile, Elora was down in those same caverns, but a very different part of them, with the Grey Ghosts, the Thieves Guild of Gracklestug, reunited with members of her own thieves band who had been lost, escaped the drow, and ended up here in Gracklestug. And there was a happy reunion there. And they were planning to get out and get back to their friends back up in the city. And the Grey Ghost said, that's fine, but you better get out of Dodge. You better get out of the city, because there are lots of people looking for them. The Keepers of the Flame, the priests who watch over the red dragon that fuels the fires and the forges of Gracklestug, are out for them, recently having killed the leader of the Grey Ghosts. And now they are hunting for the rest of them. So if Elora and her friends wish to leave, they had better leave for good, lest they be captured and forced to give up the location of the Grey Ghosts. Also, meanwhile, Ignatius and Zakan were making their way out of the Blade Bazaar towards Overlake Hold, where the head of the Stone Guard, the official security force here in Gracklestug, the Durgar captain of which met with them, apparently an old acquaintance of Zakan, and they talked very candidly about the strange, abyssal, chaotic effects that are starting to emerge, starting to take hold of various parts of the Underdark, sharing stories of Slubdudup's destruction at the hands of an avatar of Demogorgon, and other reports of outlying settlements being attacked by demonic hordes. And the captain was more concerned about strange things going on within the limits of their own city, and asked Ignatius and Zakan to report anything. And this is one of those prime Aru video game moments where they had already completed the quest before they received it, and they delivered the intelligence that she was looking for, and were given access to the Stone Guard's supplies and armories. When they leave the city, they will be given a supermarket sweep style rush through the Stone Guard's supplies, and they will be able to grab some stuff to take on their journey as they continue wherever they want to head next in the Underdark. They were also asked, not just for information, which they were already able to give, but also to look out for a certain Darrow with a certain Displacer Beast tentacled hat. The same Darrow that Corbin and the Sarith, the drow, were following. And they left Overlake Hold with that mission hanging over them. They'd seen the Darrow too in the marketplace, but after that had lost track of them. Now, they were furnished with badges of office, which they were to keep hidden, but that would allow them to pass through gateways and things, and facilitate their movement around the city as well. Let me think what else happened. And then we went back to Corbin and Sarith, didn't we? And you followed Droki, for that is the Darrow's name, into these caverns, the so-called Whorlstone caverns, with their strange eldritch patterns naturally occurring on the surfaces, and the glow of Phasrus-infused mushrooms here and there throughout the caverns and tunnels. And you followed after him, but lost him, because he suddenly shrunk down to the size of a little ragdoll and disappeared through a small fissure in the wall, and you were unable to follow. But no matter, Sarith, the drow, had other places to be, and he beckoned Corbin to hurry, quickly, follow the music, and they went off down into another section of the caverns, where, before they found the music, they found a hideous altar, the carnal remains of slain victims, sacrificial victims, arrayed in strange patterns on the floor, and they quickly found out, to their alarm, that this was the hideout, the lair, if you will, of the strange little Derro that had been traveling with them from the drow slavers camp, the Derro named Bupido, who had come perilously close to sacrificing Ignatius to himself, because he thought he was a reincarnation, an embodiment, if you will, of the Derro evil god Din Karazhan. And you managed to save Ignatius, and Corbin, you managed to come and save the rest of them as they were in dire peril from this. But there was one remaining person in this morbid little altar room, as the ghost of one of the victims emerged from the carnal heap and bade you take at least a piece of him to the Sverfneblin capital of Bringdenstone and give him a proper burial. And he spared you the horrors of digging through and trying to find what was what in that mess that was in the room there by telling you that his hand had been infused with this strange phaserous magic that is throughout this whole area and had gone scuttling off somewhere into these tunnels. It's got an obsidian ring, you can't miss it, so should you find it, do please take it with you. Someone else for Corbin to befriend. We have our offline Eberron campaign has a befriended crawling claw. Yeah, Buns. You say?
It's a habit.
Somewhere. We shall find this new friendo scuttling somewhere in the dark. Okay, just don't assume something's a spider if you see it. Now, moving on towards the source of the music, they found it, as they found a strange group of myconids, the tall, mushroom, fungal-like folk, dancing and chanting, and in a fairly ecstatic state of almost, reverence and kind of further to whatever it was that was controlling them, which you knew, Sarith knew from talking with your previous little myconid friend, was very unnatural for them. And there was another myconid sprout there, a young little mushroom folk called Rumpadup, who was not happy with what was going on, was very perturbed by the strange actions of their elders. The said elders came over to you and they were very chill, very, very calm, and they invited you to share with them the lady's gift and take on the ability to travel throughout the Underdark. And Corbin Amdanada was like, nope, thank God it wasn't Alora that was there, who would have said yes immediately, apparently. And as they refused, Sarith, who on occasion has been seen to have slightly fungal-like spores coming off them and emerging from their person, and has slight growths on their skin, moved forward as if in a trance himself, and joined in the dance with the myconids, twirling ground. And as their dance intensified, he looked to you in a moment of lucidity, terror in his eyes, and he was like, Corbin, I don't want to go. And they were all teleported away by the lady's gift, and he also was taken away with them. And Corbin was left in the dark, although it is illuminated by patches of phasrous glow here and there, in the dark with Rumpadump, who was left behind. And that too, thank you Sirenscape, is where we left our story as well. So, let us hear some introductions from these fine people. Left to right as I'm seeing it. Who are you? Who are you playing? And where are they at right now? Laura!
Hello.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
My name is Sam. I play Alora. She is a high elf assassin rogue from Mythdraenor, which was destroyed recently. She found out. And yeah, she was captured by the Drow, managed to escape with all these lovely people, and recently reunited with 2 of her members. So she's
Huzzah.
just delighted to see them again.
Okay. Thank you. And Ignatius. Muted me.
Whoops. I almost never mute myself. Okay, so I am Chris, and I am playing Ignatius, the Minotaur Barbarian, who is looking for his comrades who were also captured by the Drow and dragged into the Underdeep. Apparently, were caught on their trail.
Yes, indeed. I heard told they were heading towards the Myconid settlement of Neverlight Grove. Okay, thank you. Corbin.
I am playing Corbin, and I am a changeling mercy or way of mercy monk / druid. It's going to be a lot of fun once that really starts taking off.
Yes.
They still strutted down into the Underdark, and on the way heard of Allura and their troop of awesome people. But this is the first time I'm hearing that they were a thief group too. Corbin did not know that.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
We steal the rich and give to the poor, so we're a generous thieves band.
Nuances.
It's a generous. It's just small nuances, and still a step up from what they were originally at the monastery to learn. So they got a friend, and apparently they'll find a hand sooner or later. I just expect at some point for me to be holding the hand and just going like this.
It's 3 hands.
Just 3 hands, just no.
Okay, thank you.
Tell me your secrets, hand.
And
Will face palm with hand.
And last but not least, by any measure, Zakan, please.
Hey, I'm Steven, and I am playing Zakan, the Aasimar ranger / cleric who has been in the Underdark for over 100 years and guides people out of the Underdark. It is usually a lot less eventful than this. But they're feeling pretty confident that everyone has listened to their advice to stay together in the tavern, and that when they get back with Ignatius, everyone will be there, and they'll have a nice quiet night.
Yep, I'm just ready to move on in the morning. Excellent. Yeah. Okay, thank you, everybody. Now, let us jump back into things here. Let us jump back into things here with Elora. You are leaving the Grey Ghost's hideout?
She is very ready to get out of here and find
Okay. I think Luna and Esmeralda will stay here until you're ready to leave, and then they'll meet up. Because I think the Grey Ghosts want as few people as possible, like moving around and out of their control on the surface. You are allowed to leave to meet up with your friends and arrange your speedy leaving of the city. So, are you heading back up the ladder through the water outlets to the port?
Yes. I suppose, I should tell them to come to Goldborn's lair tonight at midnight or something, if it's not already.
That works.
Yeah. So they'll meet me there later on, and I'll go up to the street.
Okay. So yes, you clamber up the ladder with your pet cat draped around your shoulders, because they're pretty nimble, but ladders, no. This is a fairly hefty one. It's like 60 feet or so up or something. And yes, you clamber up hand over hand with your nice cozy neck warmer down here in the relative cool of these caverns. You don't want it up there when you get back up to the heat and the nastiness of the city itself, with all the furnaces going all the time. But for now, it is not too much of a discomfort. And you clamber up to the trapdoor, wrench it open, and allow yourself back in. B, your little Swift Neverland friend, who guided you down here in the first place, bids you a fond farewell and warns you how to disable the tripwire that's on the grate at the far end, and how to put it back once you let yourself through. And you do find yourself in that long tunnel down towards... Unfortunately, I don't think it's ever a good thing for you, but you're heading towards the Dark Lake. You start to hear the waters lapping in the distance, and you make your way back towards the cavern of the city. So, once you make your way through the trapped entranceway, what do you do?
I think I'm just gonna try to get out of here stealthily so nobody catches where I come in and out.
Okay. Let me quickly switch up here. So yes, the waters of the Dark Lake lapping against the exit of this tunnel. You carefully avoiding, because you know, like mere inches off the shore lies certain death in that cursed lake, and you clamber your way up to the docks, keeping low. And please let me take this away from you. How do you proceed?
No, yeah, exactly. I would just go through very slowly, avoiding the water, kind of like the hair on my arm standing up as I imagine myself pulling into the water. Yeah.
Fond memories, fond memories. Okay, I need a stealth check, please.
That is a 20. Total.
A total 20. Okay, excellent. So yeah, you feel pretty confident that you are able to stealthily move throughout this space and get to where you want to go. Where are you heading? Hold on, if you look at the map here. So
Yeah,
you're basically just to the west of Dark Lake Brewery there. You can see the gouts of steam and smoke coming out of this, and there's a very strong smell of fermentation and that slightly familiar bitter back of the throat tang that you got from the Dark Lake Stout that you had at the tavern.
Yeah, so if I'm at Dark Lake Brewery, I'm gonna head towards Goldthorn's lair, so just down towards Overlay Cold and make a turn there.
Indeed.
Again, I'm still up to stealth, so nobody can track me, if possible.
As you make your way through there, keeping to the shadows as much as possible, moving into crowded spaces and just blending with the crowd whenever you can, as you move down to the south there and aiming to loop around towards the tavern, you see Ignatius and Zakan. Just the two of them, though, making their way out of a hefty, sturdy-looking doorway with Stone Guard escorts. But the Stone Guard stops at the door and kind of begrudgingly nods at them and lets them move on their way as you come into the Dark Lake District proper. People!
Make sure I don't see any Royal Guard or Drow or anybody who might recognize me. And if not, then I'm just going to go over and I'm just going to tap Zakan's shoulder.
There you are. As elusive as ever.
Yeah, you just see like a grin on Laura's face. She looks way too happy for what just happened to her from your memory, but I'm like, I have really big news.
Oh?
2 of my comrades are alive, and they're in the city right now.
That's wonderful.
But they are being tracked by another group, the Keepers of the Flame.
Is it?
My comrades were saved by a thieves guild in the city, and that thieves guild is being targeted by another group, and it's all very complicated, but I really would like to get out of this city as soon as possible.
We would certainly prefer not to become involved with the Keepers of the Flame, no. Good news on good news, Ignatius also recently received some word that some of his companions may yet be alive.
Wonderful.
Yes,
they in the-
so let us gather up our friends and leave, if we may.
Now, everyone, I do want you not to be too nervous about the fact that this is the DM give a thing, so there must be take a thing away at some point, but we shall see. We shall see where the balance is redressed here.
Why do you preface that with "don't be nervous"? Now I'm more nervous.
Oh, did that not have
It's
the
all
intended?
nervous. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Was that not how it was meant to be?
All nervous all the time.
Welcome to D&D,
All
folks. Yeah, I've heard of D&D games where it's all just like fantasy whimsy, and there's like drinking competitions and like the bards romancing the dragon, and I've never experienced that myself, but apparently it happens.
We friend the dragon.
Too much trauma.
Somehow we will have we'll have a spider and a new rump and then an entire dragon.
Well, actually,
we got a
last
spider
time,
baby, so.
right, last time we heard about how the red dragons here are usually slain when they get too powerful. So maybe you could convince the keepers of the flame to allow you to adopt rather than the violent option.
Test me.
Although the rest of your journey through the Underdark with an adult red dragon could be problematic.
I feel like it'll be a lot easier.
Yeah,
I
way
like
easier.
anybody
In
gonna
some
tell
respects,
us,
much
"No."
easier, yes.
Even more easier if we're dead.
Whatever kingdom or principality or township you make your way back to on the surface world will just immediately raise the militia and come after you with their pitchforks and torches. The bringers of the dragon, get them! Okay, so
No.
let
Let's
us
go
Oh, sorry,
reunite with Corbin, and then we will take our rest and prepare for departure.
Yes, as soon as possible.
Oh.
Where are we heading?
Laura, I believe we were going to head towards Everlight Grove as quick as we could, although we do have your business to attend to, and we also wished to head towards the next major city.
Is there any other business we have in town, or can we leave?
Well, we were told to go visit the stone giants to hear their gratitude and perhaps to ensure that things were all right afterwards.
Are they far from
then-
here? Maybe we have time today.
Yeah, what time of the day is it?
It is getting on, right? Because this is the same. I think it was still the same day that you arrived, right? And you
Have not had a rest.
right?
Oh yeah,
saved,
no.
saved the guy from being being assassinated, and you arranged to meet him for a
Saved him.
reward the next day. But yeah, it is still that first day. Sorry, yeah, it is. You will lose track of time in my campaigns because days go on a bit because it's an eventful time.
That'll happen.
So, yes, Zakan can tell you from his Dragon Heist days that happens quite quite a lot.
Well, let us go
Once
collect
we-
Corbin and see what they think. I'm sure everything is fine.
Yes, they
wonder-
should be coming around.
I don't know if it's relevant to us or not, but you remember our friend Gorglak?
Yes.
So apparently he was the one who was contacting thieves, guilds, and assassins to try and, I don't know if he wanted to steal or just murder Salt Baron, but he's looking for an elven blade with spirals on it. And that is apparently why he was attacking or going after Salt Baron. I found a notice in the Thieves Guilds when I went to visit my friends.
Petty squabble, but I am certain that would be valuable information to Salt Baron.
They're like,
I don't really want to tell on them if necessary. The Thieves Guild has been really helpful to my comrades, but if it happens to involve us later on, I thought we should all know.
I don't think we need to get the Thieves Guild involved, do we? Goryak should no longer be a problem, according to your friend.
Yes, he will not be around much longer. The justice of his city. I'm very bad at names right now.
Stone guy.
Crackle Stug is swift.
Okay. So,
Let us carefully proceed towards the tavern and be sure we don't run into our drow friend or those people that Allura seemed to be avoiding.
Yes, do you have,
Very significant look.
you have a disguise on you, maybe? Laura,
Yes.
anything you can cover yourself up with or sneak within the crowds?
Yeah, I think I'll tail behind the two of you and put up my hood and try to stealth through the crowd.
okay. So yes, you make your way. Thank you, Grims. You are making your way through the streets, and without too much problems, you do make it back to Grobran's lair. And you make your way down those stairs. And
Is there any sign of the royal guard around?
not right now, no.
They're off in the city.
Yeah. And yeah, you leave the bustle of the streets and all the various races moving here and there and all the Durga around, and you make your way down into the familiar tap room of the tavern, and you see Jim Jar, the little Smurf Neblin, compulsive gambler, is playing cards with some other Smurf Neblin that he's met there. He's like, "Hey, you alright, guys? You welcome back? You alright? I hope don't be too mad with Eldith. It's not entirely her fault. Eldith, you ready to get shouted at?" And then
About what?
shuffling from the back corner, like where a bunch of the others are all just like huddled together and like sitting together. You see a shield dwarf scout. Hi everyone. Welcome back. Thank you, Grims. All's okay? Laura, I'm so glad you're safe.
What is everyone doing? Where is the rest of the
Everyone. Mostly everyone's here.
Do you mean mostly, Eldith? They're already like rubbing their temples.
I stepped away for a second just to get some food for the twins. And Corbin's gone. And Sareth.
What?
You were
They were
telling me
drunk. They were passed out. How does this even happen?
It's some monk bullshit.
let a drunk Corbin wander the cities of a street where people are chasing us?
They're very adept at looking after themselves. And I mean, Sareth's basically a local.
So you immediately went out to try and find them, I guess.
I didn't want to. Look, if we got there, some group of Gracklesug is gonna grab us and sell us into slavery. You've heard what they're like. You heard what Belinda said.
Yes, that is why I cautioned against people leaving on their own, looking at Allura, looking at Eldith.
I didn't have a choice, okay? I was being chased.
Technically, you weren't alone.
Technically.
Are they together? Are they in separate places? Do you have any information which way they went?
No. I'm sorry.
Since Eldith wasn't there looking at the rest of the group, did any of you see them leave? Did they leave at the same time? Did they say where they were going?
Zakan, welcome back. Are you here for the night? Ready to bed down?
We had intended on such, yes, but we are missing two of our party. Do you perhaps know where they went?
I might have heard a little something. That for my favorite mask-wearing brave hero, I might be able to share that information.
Well, that would be most helpful, thank you.
Right. The drow. Sareth was his name, right? The drow was spouting some nonsense about music. I've just got this crappy little bard in the corner. I don't think he was referring to that. He said something about music.
I'm doing my best.
How you make me talk?
He was spouting some nonsense about the music, calling him to the south, calling him to the deeps. I don't bloody know. I guess he means the chasm. Chris,
the furrow.
You see what I mean about all the clientele here being French? It's like such a French accent on them for some reason. It's just random noise. He said, "Sorry, still, I'm Belinda, but yeah, ignore me. I didn't set the hotkey up." So yeah, they were. He was saying something. I assume he means Laudiger's furrow. There's Zakan, you must know it. A worldly gentleman such as yourself.
I've heard of it, although I've not had the pleasure of touring it myself.
No, that's not it. Sorry. Fire!
Then there's a fire.
Fires!
It's gone to Avernus.
I forgot I had that hotkey on something else. Sorry, excuse me. Let me try again. Oh, right, there we go. Okay, so yes. You, she, you know that residential area of the city, Zakan. There's that huge, ravine from previous tectonic activity, ancient tectonic activity, and it's covered now. It's like the main residential area. It's full of Duragar homes on the sides of the cavern, and there's bridges and stairways carved into it. So it's quite a nice little playground of a place. If you're invited. You have never seen it because you've never been invited south of the Dark Lake District, but now you have the means.
How many of those badges did we get? Did we get 4 or just 2?
You were given just 2, but I mean, people that are with you will be okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You were assured.
Oh, no. We don't have time for this. We really don't. You're telling me a drunk Corbin went with Sareth, who is hallucinating, so neither one of them are lucid, and they're wandering the city looking for music? You have to be kidding me. Eldith, I told you to watch Sareth when Corbin clearly needed help. I don't understand how this happened on tonight of all nights when I was told I have to be queen, and I found my comrades. I have it up to here. Go find them now.
You just traded them off. You got 2 people, you lost 2 people.
Sam, you have viewer inspiration on screen, but you may also add a DM inspiration. That was fantastic. Tirade. Jimja like leans over. He's like, I think she is royalty. She certainly talks like it.
I want to hear no talk back from you either, Jimjar. You're sitting here playing card games. I don't know what any of you are doing.
Jimjar leans over to one of the others, Firth Nevlin. I bet you 5 silver she beheads someone before the day's out.
Yeah, you're the first one, Jimjar.
I lean over a bit. I'll take that bet.
Like side backhand.
Yeah, they call it a finisher.
She's already done it twice today, so.
Okay. But this one, Jimjar stipulates this one has to be preceded with "off with his head."
Oh.
Just proper regal beheading, please. Okay.
There's just like a big deep breath, like a calming, steadying breath. Zakan says, I suppose we are off to the West Clef District earlier than planned, and let us see if we can find our friend. They would have stood out, and I'm sure someone has seen them.
Unless they didn't. Can they can change into a Duergar, right?
They can do that.
they'll ever challenge Corbin to hide and seek. They're gonna win.
But hang on, am I remembering this properly, Corbin? You didn't, did you?
Oh,
No, when we went over the wall, by the time they landed, they were like, and now I look like everyone else.
Oh, okay. Good. Sorry, I forgot.
Now they're
But
just
Gareth wouldn't have been able to, at least.
Sorry, I found.
I'm carrying a mushroom friend, but they don't know that yet.
Yes, that's true. Everyone, yeah, please do remind me about stuff like that. Anytime I mistake something or forget something, do let me know. I used to watch the VODs in preparation, but we have so many campaigns going, and I was
That'd just be all the rest of your free time.
Well, I was getting in like an echo chamber, right? I was playing my stuff or watching my stuff, and like I wanted to see other people. I want to watch other streams. I want to watch other DMs and support other streamers as well, like our good friends at North Shore DM. Thank you for the subscription. So not a paid comment. Yeah, so I have stopped watching the VODs. So if I forget something, do let me know. Do let me know. This is a group exercise here. And welcome in to everyone who's with us at the moment. Thank you for joining us. Alicia is not here on this one because it's awful timing in the UK. She's a lore master, our mod Alicia, the lore keeper, official lore keeper. She knows the campaigns.
Extended universe.
Yeah, she knows the campaigns better than we do sometimes. She's like, you're forgetting. I was like, oh yeah, right, okay. But lovely to have everyone else here. Thank you so much. Now, you, yes, you hear Jim Jar actually no, Jim Jar said too much already. Let's see. The twins actually come over. And they're like, actually, Corbin seemed pretty with it when they left. Hey, Freestyle.
That is a small blessing, at least.
Yeah. They didn't seem to be walking funny or slurring the words or anything. I mean, Sarith was a bit off. He had them funny, those funny little smoky things coming off him, like poor little Stool used to.
Indeed.
well,
What?
Yeah.
Ignatius?
no, I mean, should we, do we go out and try to look for either Corbin or a odd-looking Duergar? Or perhaps we just sit here and drink and wait for them to come back?
I was about to correct you and say, no, you're looking for a Darrow, but you're talking about Corbin, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, we lost Corbin again.
Thoughtful.
Oh no.
Yes. Oh, there we go.
No, they're back. Okay.
Stay with us, Bums. Stay with us.
Oh, I didn't even realize that I was.
He froze for a sec. He froze just for a bit. It's okay. Right. Okay. So yeah, you heading
Much as
back
I
up to
would
the
love a
surface.
drink and to rest, I think that we must locate our missing party members as soon as we can.
Does anybody happen to have something to track them with?
I can track them through normal means, but not through magical, if that is what you're asking.
Okay. So yeah, you make your way back up the stairs, talking this over amongst each other, and the three of you head out into the Blade Bazaar as that oppressive heat, like bounces off you once more. Now, as you leave the tavern and start making your way south towards Lardugar's Furrow, you hear a cry. Oh, Captain! She's here! And about 300 feet away, 200 feet away, you see the glistening armor and flowing capes of the Royal Guard of Mithranor. And one of them appears around the corner and then shouts back over his shoulder, and the others quickly appear behind them, and they all start coming towards you. And what do you do?
Can I try and run away and find some place to hide?
Give me a stealth check.
That is a 23 total.
Nice. Okay. So, Ignatius, Zakan, your gaze is drawn by these cries from the Mithrano guards, and you look back to Elora, worried for her. She's just disappeared. It's gone. As you you melt into the crowd, Elora. But Ignatius and Zakan, you do, as you look back again towards the guards, thinking what to do, you do get to see something rather interesting, as there's a strange kind of shimmering in the air. And there's a few strange spots that are kind of open spaces here and there at the edge of the thoroughfare near buildings where people aren't walking for some reason. And you see why, as in these spots, shimmering out of their invisible state, you see several members of the Stone Guard. They're like, "Oi, that's them. That's those bloody elves that have been causing our ruckus." And they're like, I beg your pardon, we haven't been doing anything of the sort. Now we've heard all sorts of stories about you. And one of them turns to where you two are standing and just like salutes at you. And then they just arrest the shit out of these elves. They just grab them. And you see, it's like the end of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. You see all the knights up against the police car as they're being arrested.
Never did much like politics. Ignatius, shall we?
Yes, let us move on.
And Elora, from your hiding place, you also see this happening. Yes, Ignatius, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, I'll just shout into the general vicinity, like, Laura, we're moving on.
It's like, sounds like you're invoking your god. In Elora's name, we shall move on. Alright, so let's not give her ideas. She's already a queen. We don't want her getting divinity goals. Elora, you, from your hiding spot, wherever that may have been, you do see this happen as well.
Laura just pops right back in and says, "Thank God. You'll have to deal with them now."
Decloaks. Hi. Okay, so you make your way south down towards, and as you leave the Blade Bazaar there, you find yourself approaching that gate, which has been shoddily repaired, kind of makeshift repairs after the two-headed giant crashed its way through the gateway nearby where you are here. And you see a number of Durgar guards like squaring up to meet you as you are clearly walking towards them. Yeah, what do you want? You're not allowed.
Business.
You're not allowed south of here. Stay in the Dark Lake District, please. Rules are rules.
We've been sent on business from Captain Blackskull in search of the Darrow Droki.
Oh yeah, yes. Business from the captain. Oh, aren't you all official and stuff? Piss off. Go and do your
Just go
shopping.
like floop. There's the badge.
All right. Open it up. And there's like a slightly tortured screaming as these broken and bent hinges are forced to open the gates.
It's just like 3 minutes of like scraping.
If you want, we can go to the other gate. It's just right there. I mean, it's fine.
No, you had to come to this one and make us open it.
I think there's space for us to squeeze. Oh, no, they're going to open them entirely. Oh, okay.
It's like
Perhaps
that
Corbin can find us just through the noise.
From this noise. Just follow the noise. The heck is that?
If you want to know what this feels like, it's basically like, like the Family Guy scene where Peter Griffin's like holding his knee. He's like, just for far too long.
It just goes on and on.
Yeah. Basically, the creaking hinges version of that, and you emerge on the southern side. For Zakan, your first time ever on the southern side of the. Hang on, let's have a look here. Yeah, of the barrier, and you see this part of town here. Similar architecture and stuff. That kind of very cubist, very sharp angles and like mixed in with the pillars of rock that reach up there. All of those grey kind of blobby shapes there are pillars that go all the way up to the roof of the cavern, and they're burrowed out like the overlake hold was. They're built onto, added to, bridged between. There's all these buildings here and there, but very fairly Spartan design, and you find yourselves making your way through there, gaining even more like strange looks here, and you do see some of the stone guard are shadowing you, like openly. They're walking behind you.
Zakan will kind of like stand up a lot straighter, and they light up their staff sort of as they're walking, like with a purpose towards the furrow.
Sorry, it's just like the Finn answered me there. I was like, "Hey Finn," he was like, "Squeak, squeak."
Hey
bub. Hey bub. Okay, thank you. Now, you are clearly here at the allowance of the stone guarders because they're following you and not accosting you. So the other Durgar that are moving around here do, they give you a wide berth and they kind of scowl at you a bit, but nobody tries to stop you. Maybe a couple of like beefier looking ones, maybe off duty stone guard or something, do actually start to make a move towards you until they see the other stone guard following and actually acquiesce. And where are you headed?
Yeah, I guess just towards the chasm. In fact, I think like as they move into the district a bit, Zakan kind of stops and like turning their head over towards the ones that are shadowing them, just very casually. It's like, do you know the quickest access down into the furrow?
There are various walkways, staircases. Take your pick.
We do not wish to overstay our welcome, so we will head directly there.
Yeah. Be quick about it. Just trying to be
I guess if they just keep walking, they run into.
Okay, so yeah, you make your way through the town here, and you step through the buildings and various bits and bobs there, and yeah, you do find yourself. It's quite it's an impressive sight. It's this huge rent in the cavern floor, but with all the kind of glows of lanterns and home hearth places glowing in the various windows and things that are cut into the side of the chasm, and there's these fairly majestic, simply designed but fairly majestic stone bridges, beautifully carved over in the overall shape of them, if not to any great detail, but spanning the chasm at, as you can see on the map there, quite a lot of points, lots of different points here. And as you can hear, like with Sirenscape, the hustle and bustle that you were experiencing in Dark Lake District has died away, although you can still hear it kind of beyond to the north. And here there are still a lot. Only Duergar, you only see Duergar apart from yourselves here moving around, but you do see the occasional Duergar. It's actually quite a few of them moving around, but you are making your way in this direction. And you can hear that. Just everyone got their Sirenscape just then.
Yeah.
Good. And Zakan, you think that must be the red dragon Thembershord in his lair, which you also know is down to the south here somewhere. You just hear this
too big for his britches,
deep-throated growl echoing throughout the space here. Now, as they're
walking down the stairs into the cleft, Khan will kind of catch Alora up on like what they've been charged to do, re finding Droki. That'll give them sort of a direction to head towards the West Cleft District. Like the basic description of him is particularly because both Zakan and Ignatius have seen him. So
yeah, that's fine.
That's your get out of jail card there. We could have used that earlier.
Yes, I didn't suspect that things would be so eventful upon arriving, but things have changed since I was last here. But thankfully, there are good people to be found anywhere you go, and Captain Blackskull is one of them.
Tolerable. Okay. Now, as you clamber down the pebble-strewn, stairway that is going into the depths towards the small section of level ground at the bottom of the ravine, we shall travel a little deeper to the Wallstone Caverns to our friend Corbin. Now, I've put all of your tokens on there, so you should be able to see. We now have the updated dynamic lighting, so it should show Corbin, and I think the rest of you as well, all the places that Corbin has already visited. And the dynamic lighting is really cool, so you can still see the locations that you visited, but if there are any monsters there or any tokens there, you can't see them because they're out of your line of sight. So even if you can see the cavern still on the screen, it won't show what's there if things are moving through there until you're actually within line of sight of it yourself, which is cool. Now, let me bring
Soon you shall be reunited.
Fingers crossed. As we come over here. Now, you lot should be here. Yes. Oh, it's teeny tiny. This map is huge. I even zoomed right in. It's actually quite tricky to see. Let me. Speaking of which, let me zoom.
Oh,
right
wow.
in. Yeah. And. So yeah, I put your tokens there at the entrance where you will be shortly. So yeah, you can see. Look at the squares. The original map squares are 25 feet by 25 feet, and then Roll20 has added 5-foot squares to them, so they're like tiny little ones. But we're not here with you guys. We're over here with Corbin. Zoop. What happens if you get pulled over there? You can just see the cavern, right? You can't see Corbin's token.
Can't see anything. Black.
Yeah, I only see darkness.
Okay, I guess. Okay. Oh, I know what it is. It's because the player view that the people are seeing at home is the sum total of everything that you've seen. So they can see what Corbin's seen. So you have to have walked through that area for it to stay on your screen. You can see the bit where you're standing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's cool. I didn't know if it just showed everyone where the group has been, but it actually just only shows you where you've been yourself, which is cool. That's good. So if people are exploring separately, that's all sorted. Right. Okay.
Ooh.
Sorry, everyone. Excuse me. I was just exploring the delights of Roll20. Shut up, Thundershot. You can't hear anymore.
This episode is not brought to you by Roll20, but reach out.
Yeah, right. If you would like to. Speaking of Roll20, Ignatius, any
announcements?
Any news this weekend?
Yeah, well, Sylvie's pajama party, D&D pajama party with special guest Carlos Luna from Roll20 and
shit.
other things from Critical Role and now I'm gonna get all mixed up. Rivals of Waterdeep, not Warriors of Waterdeep.
Yeah, rivals. Yeah, that's awesome. They're great.
He's so nice. He's such a good guy.
Yeah. He does the update videos for Roll20, right?
Yeah.
He does the news videos.
Marketing strategist. And...
That stream over on CarniSideShow?
Yeah, it's on Sundays.
Sunday evening, yeah.
Sylvie's show. Her own show.
Yeah. For show. Okay, sorry, that was rude. Stupid. Not rude, stupid. I have to do dad jokes. I'm a dad.
It says hydrate.
I did.
Oh, I did. Okay, I did.
Cheers, buddy. For show. Sylvie's show. All right. Okay. So yes, Sylvie. F's in chat for Nink. once with us here in the Underdark. Briefly with us here in the Underdark, but no more. Okay. Now, We do have to find like a one shot or something like before she was captured by the drow, so we can like have Ning. I mean, she's been in a one shot as an NPC.
Yeah, actually, now that her ghost is canon, we should just bring her back like that.
As a ghost. Well, if Sylvie's schedule changes again, you know she's welcome back. I mean, we've got the new Reborn and various characters from Van Richten's.
She likes Dampiers, so
Do a Halloween one shot.
Like full on, like seriously, if her schedule changes, do let us know.
Sure.
Be like a really bubbly skeleton because you got straight up dissolved, right? Like inside of a cube.
Our last bubbly skeleton was named Fangtastic. And,
Wait, she has played a bubbly skeleton before?
she has, yeah.
Way ahead of the game.
Right at
Way
home.
ahead. All right. So, sorry.
Bring back Ning as an animated skeleton. Halloween 2021.
Okay. So, you, Corbin, are stood here just seeing the last little motes of kind of fungal spores and light whooshing around in the vortex that was created by the disappearing myconids, and you find yourself in this pretty huge cavern. I put the little swirls that you can see there, that's kind of like the phaseress kind of glowing whirly patterns on the walls, and that's what's making the light. That's why I put them there. I didn't want to go to the effort of hiding all of them behind the map layer. So, and they're supposed to be on the wall. The patterns are supposed to be on the wall there. So let me just quickly reread this description of this place for you. So yeah, this tunnel opened out into a natural cave, and you can see the large growth of various types of mushrooms and fungal glowing bits and bobs on that south wall there, leading off to the caverns. Oh, there is back the way you came. And Rumpadump, I think Rumpadump still has the spore contact with you, the telepathic link, because I think it lasts for an hour. Rumpadump, sorry. Hang on. Oh, very difficult to select the token because it's so small. Okay, got it. So, rapport spores. The spores can go around corners and stuff as well. They only affect creatures with intelligence of 2 or higher that aren't undead, constructs, or elementals. So Corbin, come clean. Are you undead? No. Okay, good. And it lasts for 1 hour, so definitely still going.
Okay. Well, after everybody sort of disappears and they're just sort of sitting there like, you kind of look down at Rumpadump and then back up to like the final shimmerings of them leaving. And I'm like, oh, so pissed I lost one of their friends.
Did you hear the voice in your mind again? Just it's like the little mushroom like cap just like tilts up to look at you and it's like just like shrugs. I think they were beyond saving.
Well, you can explain that to them then.
To who?
See? Like hold my hand out for them to like take my hand kind of like you would if you were like babysitting a kid, like, come on. Yep. All right, keep your eye out for a hand with an obsidian ring. Which way?
Looks at yours. Nope,
not mine. They're gonna kind of start going back the way they can, with the way they came, kind of trying to backtrack from. So it's like, you wouldn't happen to know an easier way out of here so that I don't have to walk through bodies again, right?
We came by the lady's gift. We didn't walk
Well,
nowhere.
that's currently unavailable. We're not doing that.
I'm looking forward to exploring.
Yeah, okay, all right.
But did you hear that just before? Is it dangerous here?
Technically, everywhere you go is dangerous if you look in the right place.
Oh dear.
Here, look. I'll tell you what my mom told me. As long as you keep all of your arms and legs close to the center of you, you shouldn't lose any limbs. Now duck and come on.
You get pulled as they pull their arms in tight, but they're still holding your hand.
That's the ticket. And remember, when I say run, do that.
Okay. Tiny little
You wouldn't have.
micro leg stuff.
If it's like if you really can't keep up, he ends up like on my shoulder at some point.
Yeah. I wonder if there's I wonder if there's a picture here. Sorry. Let's have a quick look.
And he like bioluminescent is like he got a light.
I don't think he does. I'm afraid. But like I said, this whole area, at least where you are at the moment, is lit up. But
Right now.
you can see very clearly that it does disappear into darkness in that east tunnel that leads out to the east there. So it is that this natural occurring blue glow from the Phaserus energy is lighting the way at the moment, but could be.
If I wave at it, like blow air at it with my hand, and does it move at all?
The light?
Yes.
Like,
is it just coming from the phosphorus spores that are in the air? Is there something physical making? Because I'm gonna get some and use it as like a little light so I can continue on.
Yeah, it's like a background kind of radiation, like just suffusing the whole complex. It's just
it's like moth.
No, there's like a glow to the air, just like tangibly, like in the air itself. And remember that it's got that slight metallic taste to the air around here as well, and the sound's all muted as well, like before. And
The torch.
That's what I wanted. Let me just quickly read something. Yeah, do you have a torch?
I have a torch.
Okay, so yeah, if you go ahead into a darker area, if you see on the Roll20, if things start to disappear, quims, yum, metal, nom 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 nom. Get that iron in your diet.
Yeah.
You can light that if you need to, yeah. Phaserus. Yeah, so areas suffused with Phaserus are always filled with dim light. So.
Me and my dark vision having self. I'm gonna continue on to the east because I have my torch now, and because I really don't want to walk through bodies again. So let's see if I can find another way.
Noted. So I'm just double checking all the effects of the Phaserus here.
No problem. And maybe the hand scuttled this way.
Okay, noted. So yes, are you heading in that direction?
Yes. I moved my token a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. No, sorry. I'll leave Rumpadump until you stop.
Settle down.
And then I'll and then I'll bring it over like this. Zoop. Hello. I disappeared.
Hey, here I go.
Into the darkness. So torch. Chris, it's 10 foot dim, 10 foot bright, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's 10 foot bright, 10 foot dim beyond that, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, let me fix your token there, Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
Boop. Dynamic lighting. Emits bright light for 10 feet and low light for 20 feet. I think. Is that? No, that makes it 30. It's additional bright light, so that's okay. So total. There we go. Yes. Ready? Boop.
Yay.
Not great, but it's a start.
Here we go.
Okay.
Into the thick of it.
So you're heading in that direction. You're not going back the way you came. You're in that way, right?
No,
Kelsey.
not. I'm moving forward to see if I can find another way out. Because if I have to avoid it, I would rather not wade through, disembodied corpses.
True. Yeah. I mean, wading's a very dramatic term. It wasn't like knee deep or anything, but
Is unless I will ask, is the smell of all the metallic taste, does it get stronger when I come over here?
Smell of what? Sorry, you're breaking up a little
If
bit.
it's just already all encompassing.
The
Oh, sorry. If it's just already all encompassing, like you said, there's a little bit of metal taste in the air.
yeah, it doesn't change as you move in that direction particularly. There's quite a
If it doesn't change, then yeah,
no.
I'm gonna keep going.
There's quite a musty smell of like kind of like a mushroom kind of smell in that direction. It's just getting stronger like as you go near that patch, but also like emanating from that eastern tunnel as well. Please walk on. To your
The
adventure.
mushroom smell. Well, I mean, I'm holding a mushroom.
That
Do
doesn't
you?
help.
You wouldn't have. You know, you came through the mother's gift. You haven't explored yet. You're just here. Okay, yeah, we're
I'm
gonna
sorry.
keep
They were all just too busy
going forward.
dancing. They were just dancing and dancing. Couldn't stop them.
Nobody's blaming you because you just watched them dance. I'm just saying, like, as I'm moving forward, this is totally the conversation they're having.
Yeah.
I was like, nobody's blaming you. I'm just saying, maybe not. Okay, maybe not. Just being here is. What am I stepping on?
Yeah, stop there a second. Oh god, there's really cool art of Rumperdump. I don't know where it's gone. Let me do a little looky see here. Rumperdump. R. There he is. I knew I'd shown it to you last time. Boop. Hello.
Remember Rumperdump? He's
Looks like a
the best
pickle.
little thing, but I just imagine the cutest little voice coming out of what looks like the tiniest eldritch horror, and it's adorable.
Here he is. He's like, right, let's go. And you start making your way to that tunnel there. Now, as you enter into that narrower space, that smell gets stronger again, and you see a dense fungi forest blocking your way. Its tallest specimens growing some 5 feet high. Even as you assess the best way to pass through it, a hissing sound starts to rise, like uncounted tiny voices whispering in tongues you don't understand.
Can anything in this godforsaken plane not freak me out? No. Let's go down into the tombs. Let's read. Like, they immediately like turn heel and start walking away. Just complains like, no. Let's just keep going back. Let's follow the people. Let's get a job. Man, the birds never treated me this way. And they're speaking, of course, of like the ravens from the aviary and the monastery where they hung out the most. Like, the birds never treated me this way. They just wanted to steal my clothes. One of them took my shoe one time, but Jeffrey was always a dick. That's all.
And Rumperdump's just nodding.
Yeah. Right.
Dick.
Oh no. They kind of just have like a sigh and then just go through the other room. I feel like I haven't really much looked or percepted, but last time I was here I did so and I didn't really see much. And I'm not going to think that anything here is more interesting than it was when there was a small rave happening. So I think, yeah, I'm officially backtracking the way I came, just kind of straight through. Other than a perception check to see if I notice any scuttling hands on the way, until I reach that tiny slit where Droki jumped in. I'm just like straight shot. I'm beelining it.
All right. So yeah, give me that
But I
perception
need
check.
to roll. Okay. Perception.
The sound dies down again as you leave.
Hey.
Thicket
Okay,
behind you.
I rolled 14 plus 3, 17.
17. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, you see, you do start to see signs of some kind of wildlife down here. You see a kind of strange spider about the size of the palm of your hand with this glowing blue spiral pattern on its back, goes scuttling up one wall and disappear into a small rift in the side of the stone. and you can hear, with that perception, you can hear things moving in the fungal growths and thickets that are around, but nothing that sounds particularly dangerous. Just
Do you think the
small
spider is like, "Aw, Minnie Webster"?
Focus.
Focus. Don't have an army of spiders.
Okay. As you start making your way back towards the entrance and back towards where you lost sight of Droki, let us jump back outside. And ignoring that, and let us jump back outside
Oh no, man.
to the West Cleft district of the entranceway here. Now, Elora, Ignatius, and Zakan, as you are making your way down into the ravine and going past all of those parts of that city there and leaving behind the Durgar settlements, you, as Corbin saw last week, you find those empty-looking buildings that are gathered around near the edge towards where the West Cleft district is. And you... Hang on a sec, let's jump in here. You make your way over towards that massive barrier of steel and boarded zirkwood material, and with the hefty gates with the Duragar guards covering the entrance to this Darrow neighborhood. And... And... Let's have a look here. Zakan, with your passive perception, you catch sight of a dark, shadowy shape, fairly diminutive in size, moving between buildings, skipping between rooftops on the sides of the buildings, disappearing into one of these abandoned-looking houses, and then appearing back out the other side with two very distinct tentacle-like things trailing off a droopy hat. As you spy Droki heading towards the West Cleft district himself.
So they saw him go into like a house on this side of the barrier and then pop out on the other side of the barrier?
No, he just popped out the other side of the house. He's heading towards the barrier still.
Okay.
So,
yeah, they point him out, like the movement out, so that the other two can have an eye on him and say, "Well, here's our quarry."
Not a cat.
Not a cat.
Sorry, excuse us.
However, I suggest that we continue to follow him past the barrier here, as we have not yet located our missing party members, and he is the ostensible reason for us being allowed to wander freely.
How are you going
Keep an eye on
to
him.
proceed here? Are you stealthing after him, or are you openly chasing him, or just moving, in that direction openly?
I think we'll try to keep moving openly, because like there's guards on the barrier, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, they turn to Elora, presuming that Elora has spotted them. Be like, "Are you able to slip away through those buildings the way that he's going and follow him that way? We can meet you on the other side of the barrier once we've talked to the guards."
Sure, so I should follow him and use that as our guise to actually track our friends so that we can get through.
Yes, tracking this Darrow is the reason that we'll be allowed to pass the barrier. I hope that in the event that we have some trouble with the guards, at the very least you can follow him and hopefully continue our search for Corbin.
I'll reach
Sure.
into my pouch and give her the badge that I have, just in case you get caught alone.
Good idea.
So I will follow him and try to capture him. Is that right? Or just follow?
Follow him and see where he goes. We do not yet know why it is that authorities in Gracklestug are looking for him, and we do not know what dangers he may present as well.
Sure.
Okay. So, Elora, do you want to give me a stealth check?
Sure. Wasn't good. I have +8, but I got an 11.
You're okay. Droki doesn't seem to notice you. Not because he's not very perceptive, but just because he's distracted. As you get closer, as Corbin experienced last week, you start to hear him muttering to himself, quietly, because he is trying to be stealthy and move through this area. But you can just hear him, this fairly filthy-looking, clothes and stuff on this Darrow. It's pretty easy to recognize him with this floppy hat, with these two tentacles bobbing up and down with the brisk pace. And he's muttering these repetitive phrases to himself, different volumes, but all of them fairly quiet at this point. He's like, "Oh, Droki is late. They're gonna be so angry. Stupid Droki. Delays, blocks, procrastination, obstructions. No time, no rhyme, not mine. No time." He's like just scuttling along there, just going away to himself, and doesn't seem to notice you as you ghost along behind him. Ignatius, Zakan, the Durgar square up to you. What do you want? What are you doing down here? Your escort stopped up above, by the way.
We are here on business of Captain Blackstone, and they again, sort of manifest with a little sleight of hand the badge in pursuit of the rogue Darrow Droki.
They peer at it. Yeah, he's rumored to be using this place now. Be careful. Be careful. They're insane. They're crazy. They'll tear you to pieces as soon as look at you. Just don't cause any trouble, or the whole lot of them will just kick off against you.
Zakan pats like Ignatius on the shoulder and says, "Have faith that they will give us a wide berth."
And the guard kind of looks up. He's like, I'm not sure they'd have the sense to. And they unlock various padlocks and slide back bolts and chains and slowly open this heavy metal door in the gateway there. And you make your way into the Darrow district.
This Droki, is he some manner of hero to the Darrow? They would hide him and not give up his location were we to ask?
You'd be lucky to get a straight word out of him. I don't think they owe him anything. They don't know where they're at half the time themselves. You start to hear the mutterings and mad laughter and cackles and various noises of the Darrow that are just in their little hovels and almost like, whereas before the Durgar ones were carved into the rock face, here it's just basically little indentations in the rock, which are just serving as these little resting places for these Darrow. And you can see them just scuffling around and moving around, looking this way and that, fidget, nervously glancing around, and small groups of them scuttling to and fro. Some of them stopping to talk together. Some of them suddenly break out into a fight and start tussling around on the floor and just screaming at each other. You can't even make out what they're saying. And you are here. How do you proceed? Laura, you've made your way over as well into this space.
I'm following Droki. What can I see him doing?
He is staying up on the sides of the cavern, climbing up on the sides and moving up away from where the other Darrow are gathered, if there are any of them down there.
So I suppose I should just keep following him until he goes somewhere I wouldn't go myself.
Okay.
Can we sort of keep an eye? Because, since we spotted Droki, are we able to sort of keep an eye on his movements, tracking his trajectory? Assuming he doesn't, try to specifically hide from us or change up his direction.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, cool.
both. Now, one of you with advantage, or both of you? Either way you want to do it.
Give him advantage. It's probably better.
Cool. My dice.
So yeah, with advantage as I can.
Good. I gotta roll dice in this game.
Sometimes we do.
There we go. That advantage was helpful. That'll be 19.
Lucky meets it, beats it. He was being very stealthy and got a 19 himself. And you do find some tricky, some difficulty doing it, but you do manage to keep track of where he is. You see him flitting, and then you actually make out Alora behind him, following in the same kind of route as they're up climbing on the sides. And as they do so, you see the various Darrow they seem too distracted by their own mutterings, their own goings on, and they don't see Droki or Elora moving up on the sides.
Just as they're going to leave through the gate, Zakan turns to the Durgar who are closing it, and they say, "Have anyone who is not Darrow passed through these gates as of recent?
You still at the gates? Yeah?
Yeah, just like I imagine they went through the other side, and were like taking in the scene, plus like kind of trying to spot Turkey, but then just before they like leave this area."
They're like, "No, nobody goes in here. I don't know why you are."
The Stone God has a request. We must answer the call. Thank you.
Well, good luck to you. And you're left alone in there. So, are you going to try and climb up as well, or are you going to try and stealth your way through?
Unless Ignatius had a different thing in mind, I'm just gonna like go straight through here, like sort of keeping an eye out for Corbin or Sereth, but also like keeping that eye to Alora and Droki, like as we're just moving through. It's basically like a long corridor, right? Since it's the chasm.
Yes.
So they assume that, perhaps they'll run into each other, or Corbin's corpse or something.
Possibility.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk through. I'm not gonna be
Maybe.
loud. But...
Yeah.
Okay.
So like Zakan says to Ignatius, like, keep your eyes forward and I'll keep an eye on Alora and Droki. We'll see what we find.
And you make your way through, and through this senseless arrangement of little hovels and burrows, and you almost like lose your footing sometimes as this opening suddenly comes out of the stonework below you, and it's very uneven. There's just stuff, like just scattered around, like broken down bits and bobs, things that have just been thrown away, just useless rubbish all over the place. And Alora, you see Droki, after a certain point, drop down. So as represented by this descending piano. Look at Droki climbs down the side, back down to the, and you see he's heading towards you can see it from your vantage point, but you reckon it would probably be almost invisible from the floor of the cavern. There's a slight gap in the rock with this strange, slightly blue-tinged light drifting out of it like a mist, and Droki's heading towards that. And Ignatius, Zakan, you can see Alora, and they're heading in this direction, but you can't see what they're heading towards the same way she can. So Droki drops down to the surface and goes and disappears into that gap in the wall.
Could I go and try and peek in between the gap and see if I see anything?
Yeah, you follow there, and Ignatius and Zakan, are you following Alora?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, let's say you all arrive at the same moment at this entrance into these tunnels that you can see, and you can see the strange, almost spooky kind of mist that's coming up out of this opening in the wall. And as you peer inside, Elora, you see just a tunnel leading off into the rocks.
I turn to them and say, do we want to follow Troki and see where it leads us? Do we have any leads? Did you hear anything from the guards about a drow walking around?
No, I suspect that perhaps they might have crossed the barrier in much the same way you did.
Now, Corbin, where have you, advanced to? If you want to start moving back. If you head southwest from where you are now, that goes back round to where you came from. You go past that rushing underground river that you crossed over. Rumpadump will get a head start.
I have to make the map less zoomed in so I can see where I'm going.
No worries.
Okay.
That's where the river is. You can see the river just hurtling underneath where that natural stone bridge crosses over it there.
Nope. Okay.
Hello.
Got...
Rumpadump.
Get back up.
Unfortunately, that's where you enter back into Bupido's cavern there, and you see all the remains of the various sacrifices there.
I'm telling you, they just kind of go. They're just like and like tie something around their like the bottom half of their face, and make sure Rumpadump is like high and just like
That's so gross.
And you see a hopeful-looking ghost. He's like, "Oh, did you find it already? Oh, that's amazing."
I didn't find your hand. I came to a giant fungus wall that hissed at me.
Right, well, I shall just stay here, the restless dead, hoping for release from my torment.
You know, for somebody trying to guilt trip me, you don't seem very tormented. I said I would look for it. It hissed at me. What do you expect me to do?
And you just as you're walking through the cavern, and you end up back in that. If you go up to where Rumpadump is there, and everyone else, you are now where you are, on the map there. So I put Laura with you there because I hadn't put you together because I was worried if she was going to be able to see on it. Okay, so there you are, everyone. You're getting a very bright view now because Zakan has his bright lights going on.
Yeah, staff's lit up.
Mm-hmm. So you can all move your tokens, okay? Yeah.
Yep.
Check.
Zoomed in.
Darrow, somewhat akin to hags, apparently.
Okay, so if I'm on the other end of this, I'm at the cavern where that's like the slit in the rock wall that Daryl shrunk at. That's where I am now.
Like the entranceway to that. Yeah, that just in the main corridor there. But and you can hear as you make your way around. Here, let me bring you over. Oh, there. That's where you are.
Wee.
Woohoo! And yeah, Rumpadump's there with you, and you can hear water lapping to the east of you along that corridor that you didn't explore before. Sorry, everyone, let me bring you over what we're talking about here. Boop. And the to the north is where Droki had disappeared before. But
okay,
you can hear sound in that cavern again.
in the cavern where I saw him shrink down and go?
Yes. Yeah, you can actually hear sounds once more in that space. And I need you, Corbin, can you roll me a D20, please?
Just a D20.
Just a D20.
Boy.
Just a little D20.
Okay.
And a tinted guy.
Don't do it!
What is it?
What did you get?
What did I get, you say?
Does it need an emote?
Here. Right there, it's an emo. It definitely has an emo. I'll show you.
There's two
I'll
of them.
show you which one. There are two.
It's one or the other. One's bad, one's good.
Okay, here you go, chat. This is what I got. Yay! Did it send?
Not yet.
There it is.
There they are. Okay. Like I said, one's bad and one's good, but not the way around you might think. On a random encounter table, low is actually good. So.
Gold rains from the caverns because I rolled a 1.
Because you have entered into this thoroughfare here, and there is always the possibility that something will happen. But you do hear movement coming from the west, and you look, and in the faint, eerie phase rest glow, you see the hulking form and unmistakable horns of Ignatius, with 2 other shadowy figures about the right size for your friends, and something with 8 legs, scuttling eagerly, moving ahead of the others, almost playfully running down the corridor in slow motion.
Webster, get back here. What are you doing? Go run off.
You hear Ignatius's voice.
Oh my god! Thank gods! Where have you guys been? You left me like you're just echoing like in the chamber as they come, and just like you first, you see just another 2-headed thing because Rumpadump is on their shoulder, and they're just fussing at everyone. You left me
charge
passed out in a bar.
Everyone move over to the east there, to where Corbin is.
Oh yeah.
Shoo.
His face is canon. Just
Thank God you're alive, Corbin. Oh, what happened to Sareth?
looks up at Rumpadump.
You're just in your mind, because the others haven't been affected by the spores, so they can't hear him. Just in your mind, Corbin's like, this is on you.
Okay, so I woke up.
You specifically said it wasn't my fault.
It's not your fault. It just doesn't, and no one else can hear them just talking. So you only hear this one-sided conversation. No one's saying that it's your fault. I'm just saying.
Well, no, because Corbin, you're telepathically communicating too, so they don't hear you either. Just Corbin's just staring,
looking at each other
on his shoulder.
Okay, so Sarah left unwillingly ? So you guys were aware about all of the whole, music that they could hear, right? Was that new?
Yeah, none of you have
He had not mentioned anything about music.
No. Saw him dazing off, but he didn't tell us anything.
Oh no, he led me somewhere. So he wanted to go find the music, and I followed him because he said that the music would lead me to Laura, and instead it brought me to a glow-in-the-dark drum circle that teleported him to another plane of existence. But I got a mushroom friend.
Silently, the little, and you recognize this as a Myconid sprout, like Stool was. Different type, but very clearly the similar thing. Yeah, just like waves.
But it's something called the Lady's Gift. It kind of drove him mad.
And then
they offered me to go dancing with them, but I said no.
So it drove him crazy, and then he, disappeared?
Yes, in a big flash of light, with other people also doing the Macarena.
Just to remind folks what's going on here, Droki came in this direction. Having a catch up. Oh yeah, we're following someone.
Did you
see disappearing and your adopting of various things aside, did you see a small Darrow with a tentacled hat come through here?
Yes, the weird muttery little guy. Yeah, he's who led us here. We followed him, and then he shrunk down to like this big, and then he went that way through there. I was gonna follow him, even though I don't think I can make myself that small yet. But instead we went this way. There's a whole lot of bodies. I got guilt tripped by a ghost, and then a mushroom wall hissed at me. It has been a lot. I have been through a lot.
Zakan just gets very close to Corbin and is like looking for spores to make sure there's nothing coming out.
Seems okay.
Drunk.
Elora, please.
Are you sure you're not still drunk? Are you really okay? Are you sober? Shows start
I'm
sniffing.
not. No, when I woke up, I just had a really bad taste in my mouth, and then they like look over at Ignatius. You were wrong. They did not taste any better.
Then why'd you keep
Why did
drinking?
you leave me?
We didn't leave. We went out to shop, and then we came back, and you left.
We both exited out of the building. That encompasses leaving.
I was being chased by Royal Guard. I am
You were
completely
running away
excused.
from your supposed responsibility.
Responsibility, yeah.
Little bunnies.
Well,
Buns.
sad to hear about
Mistake.
Sereth, but maybe while we're down here, we should try and catch that little thing running around.
Is he gonna bring Sereth back? And they kind of gone over to the the crack in the wall and are kind of like peeking through it now.
You going into the north there? Please, yeah, move your tokens up there. I put
Oh,
Webster
yeah,
and
sorry.
I put Webster and Isol there as well.
Towards where he disappeared, right?
I love that it's just the words giant spider.
Where did Rumperdump go? Oh, he's there.
It's this tiny little one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
like
yeah,
there's-
Corbin would like to peek through. Can they see anything? Because he
So, yeah.
ran through there.
You peek around the corner with that little conversation break. He has disappeared, but he must have gone the same way. Like, you look around this room, there are no other exits that you can see from that room. He must have gone the same way that he did before. Now, Zakan, do you also move up there?
Also,
You-
Zakan go up to look in there. Yeah.
You see something very interesting. You see this growth of all these fungi. That's what that kind of marking there is on the northeast wall, and you see lots of different types of fungus and stuff. But two types that you have never seen, but you've heard talk of, that they grow where the Phaserus energy is particularly strong. This magic energy that suffuses through all of the Underdark. You recognize two of them in amongst the other normal types of fungus. You see a 4-inch tall mushroom with a thin stem and this wide purple cap on top, scattered through. And you know that those are bigwig mushrooms. And also, you see these little, almost hidden amongst the other ones, 1-inch long stems with a little stubby blue cap with white dots on them. And you know those are called pygmywort. And if consumed, they will change your size for 1 hour. Pygmywort reducing you in size, and bigwigs increasing you in size. And
They are not super dangerous.
Nope. No, it just changes your size rating 1 up or 1 down for 1 hour or until you eat the opposite.
Is there a good amount of them?
Right? Daisy called it.
Alice in Wonderland rules.
Yeah, yeah. Let me just double check how many. There are a number of them. Hang on. I think there's a dice
Alice in
roll.
Wonderland.
Yep.
Queen.
Yep. Which color, Laura? There are 2 queens in play, aren't there?
Yeah, red and white.
She'd be Queen of Hearts.
I'm just looking forward to the Jabberwocky. Okay.
No more giant monsters.
Okay, so yeah, this relatively small cave branches off the main tunnel, and you see him disappearing. He must have disappeared into that area there. Okay, can Zakan and Ignatius roll me a d10?
D10.
And somebody please make a note of this.
7.
7, okay.
2.
2, okay. So there are 17 bigwigs and 11 pygmy warts. So make a note of that. We need to keep track of how many of these there are.
Yeah, so as they're kind of looking through the crack in the thing and deciding to go through, Zakan will say to Corbin, "You said that Sereth was compelled to come here, drawn here."
Yeah, he said he heard music.
And you said that you encountered myconids.
Different types, yeah, but this one was different. He didn't want to dance and didn't think that it was right that everybody else was. So he didn't go. Sereth did, but they didn't want to. There was 1 second that they looked back and they said they didn't want to go, and I couldn't help them.
It is fortunate at least that you came back well. And turning to the rest of the group as well, they say, "Take some cloth, cover your nose and mouth. Don't know what we might encounter in here, but it's very likely that we could encounter what it is that affected Sereth."
Yeah, Corbin already did that for when they were coming back through from the other side. So they were there already.
Okay.
Oh,
So
and look out for a hand crawling around with an obsidian ring.
Why?
D&D sentences.
Why should we do that thing?
Oh, because I may have promised a ghost that would help it find rest, and instead of finding its entire body, it told me about its hand that had just kind of gotten up and scuttled away. So I said I'd keep a lookout for it.
I feel that I have been... Sorry, go ahead.
Did you eat any of the mushrooms on these walls anywhere?
No, I didn't eat any of the mushrooms. Look, it's not my fault that you guys have had a very plain time down here, and everything seems to love me. Spider, Mike, and Ed. It's like
Making friends wherever you go. I feel I have been lack in explaining some of the basics of survival in the Underdark or anywhere, but making contracts with ghosts, generally not best idea.
Oh, they said I could have the ring.
By the way,
If we find the ring, we will look at it carefully.
Rumperdump jumps off
Okay.
your shoulder, Corbin, and in your mind you hear, "Come on, let's go!" And they just start disappearing off down that tunnel.
Whoa, wait, stop. No, I said when I said run. And they just start chasing us.
But the plot mushroom is here. We must follow it.
What mushroom is here?
So,
Oh, all the way over there. Okay. Off we go.
well, are you partaking of these pygmy warts? You need to. You cannot fit otherwise. Do not be fooled by the size of the map.
Okay,
What did you say
and
exactly it does?
It reduces your size by 1 for an hour.
I won. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you're
so
medium,
Zakan will
aren't you,
explain
Ignatius?
weapon.
Yeah, I guess I'm still. Yeah, if
Strictly
Goliaths
speaking.
are medium, then I'm a medium.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, you are reduced to small-sized creatures, which
Because you have to
Rumperdump
eat,
already is.
right? So you can get smaller.
Corbin.
The ring
Until you
itself.
Ant-Man.
Corbin.
I was gonna say because if it only makes me half size, I'm like, oh, I'm still the same size as Corbin.
Which is it does make you half size, quote unquote, but that is
Yeah, sure.
counts as 1 size smaller.
Sure.
Okay. But yeah, Corbin's gonna munch.
Corbin.
I'll take one.
Let's have a look here.
Yeah, so Connie explains them and makes sure that everyone has like, they just divide them amongst the group, like the number of shrinking ones and the number of growing ones. And I assume that it is bad to like keep eating one or the other. Like your body can only take so much size modification.
Doesn't say so.
Mhm. Corbin's a changeling, so
Yeah.
who can I be a mini minotaur along with it?
Now,
As long as we stay together.
sounds like the Durgar. There's a Durgar in the Xanathar's lair under Waterdeep that's obsessed with minotaurs. He's built his room. He used a bunch of cracking crates to make a little maze in his room, and he's like wears this minotaur horn helmet all the time. Anyway, sorry.
Minotaur weeb.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you, yes, all partake of these pygmy mushrooms. But, Corbin, Webster looks concerned. You stop and think about it. Even if he eats one and reduces to medium size, he won't be able to fit.
Okay, and they've already like eaten it, so they're just like small and like trying to like call
It's
on top of like.
It's like
Okay.
concernedly comes over. She's like,
No,
what's wrong, mommy?
I mean, oh no, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Look, you stay here. Guard the opening, and Mom will be right back. Okay?
Elora?
The tiniest little snack. Just
Yeah. Right. He's exerting a huge amount of willpower at the moment. You've all just reduced to perfectly edible little bite-sized munchies. And
I'm gonna catch you the biggest blood sack when I get back. I promise.
So what did you ask him to do? Stay here?
I was like, okay, stay here so that you can like kind of guard the. The only other thing I can think for him to do is like meet us on the other side, but we don't know where that is. But he could definitely be help if we come like running back through here. We have a giant spider, but hide up there, up top in the shadows. So if somebody else comes in here, they don't shank you.
He kind of sulkily starts to move and like clamber up the wall. And Elora, Isel, as only a cat can, Isel smirks at Webster and just saunters into the crack in the wall.
Enough.
Okay.
Like, oh Lord, tell him to stop.
Now Laura could technically like ride Isel, right?
Yes.
It's like a giant tiger now. Just running on the back of the tiger.
So, you all make your way into the tiny little tunnel there, and I'm afraid the four of you still need to squeeze. Even as a small creature, if you're tiny, you can get through, no problem. If you're small, you have to squeeze, so it's still uncomfortable. Stephen, did you ever do Abakumat?
Abakumat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do the adventure course?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, getting really in there.
For me, that is a legit challenge. It's like there's this amazing cave system here in Fukushima near where I am, and it has this incredible walking tour through, and these incredible like stalactite rooms and beautiful
cathedral.
Place. Yeah, it's amazing. But they have the normal course, which is fairly open and wide, or they have this adventure course, which is this thin, like this what you have chosen here, and you have to clamber through, and it's like it's really tight fit. And like my sons and their cousins were just like skipping through and having a laugh, and I was actually like, hang on, Uncle John's gonna take a little challenge here. So,
yeah. I mean, you have to basically be like, bent in half the entire time while trying to sort of maneuver through.
Yep. And side to side could have been a challenge for me at some points as well. It's like, suck it up, no, suck it, go away, gut. Okay, so you make your way slowly as you, especially Ignatius, your horns keep getting stuck. You're like, oh, fuck,
like grinding on the rock walls.
Just eventually turn sideways, just like this the whole time.
Yes, but please feel free to make your way
through. Going to look for Darrow tracks.
It's just stone. They wouldn't leave anything.
I didn't leave any tracks. Okay. Yeah. Well, as long as we just have the single corridor, I suppose it's not super necessary to track. So just coming through and keeping eyes and ears out for danger.
Staying back again, making sure nothing's following us or trying to.
Yep. I'll move Isel later and Rumpedump. So please, just go for it.
I'll stay behind Ignatius. I can be the eyes.
It's the Underdark Police. Leg it.
Cops.
The cops, they're onto us. Go. Okay, so yeah, you make your way down there. Now, Corbin, you see it open up a little bit, and again, there's this little tiny natural rock bridge that goes over that rushing river once more. Must you think like just getting the sense of it must be the same one that you crossed over before?
Yeah. So, and then they say that out loud. They're like, so this must go. There's like a river. I've passed over this a few times now. So, do you think he's following the water?
Right, but he didn't go to the south. You that was just you and Sarah that went that way.
Does the water look weird? We didn't really look at it last
Just
time.
kind of dark and just like mirrored surface, just reflecting that
Like
slight,
it is out,
slight
like
blue
it is
glow.
when we were in the boat.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep going then.
Okay.
Just alert for danger. Alert for
Right?
signs of our crazy white rabbit.
Actually, let me do a let me not do you a disservice there. Zakan, let's see if there is a check to see where he's gone here.
Disturbed rock piles or lingering scent in the air.
Yeah, right. The decaying displacer beast tentacle. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. Give me a survival check.
Yeah, because I suppose like footprints is the normal thing, but I guess there are other ways to track
Yes.
creatures and people.
Not footsteps, Matthew Mercer. Sorry, my pet. He switches footsteps and footprints all the time. He's like, you hear footprints
Does he?
coming towards you. It's like, no, they don't.
I've never noticed that, and now I got the feeling that like I'll just always notice it. Not great for them, but that's a 17.
Okay, that's still
I say
enough.
echoing Alora's 19 for before.
Yeah. And you do see signs of passage. A broken toadstool here, a little scuffed, fresh broken rock here, a little scrape of displacer beast tentacle there. And you make your way around, and it is definitely carrying on in the direction that Corbin's going there.
Trying to figure out where everybody else was. I don't see anyone else's tokens.
You're in the lead, that's why.
My bad. I will wait for everyone
it's fine.
to
It's fine.
follow.
Yeah, so you're just going, and everyone, you can see Corbin's torchlight, flickering off the walls dimly in the distance there.
Chasing a myconid. They're very quick once you give them their own pace.
Now.
Myconid ran off, right?
I mean, it's nearby. And you see them here when they. You see that? Okay. So it's dim light, so it's grayed out for you guys. That's why the colors are kind of strange.
So we're approaching this sort of open cavern, and I assume we'll, or Zakan at least will make a note for like quiet caution as it's looking to open up.
You actually see Rumpadumps playing with Isel back out there when you get to that section there. You actually see you actually come out there and you actually find yourself looking back and like looking down through the gloom. You can actually see back the way you came. There's just this big pool of water that you can see there. And it seems like this little what's the word I'm looking for? Diversion here just like is a way to get around that pool where that river is flowing through. So Corbin, you think if you called out to Webster, they might be able to join you?
Oh, it's still gonna be like the small voice because they're smaller. By now I would think that they've at least come up with like a little whistle for them to do in case they get separated or fall off and knocked over.
Okay.
So they hit them with their.
Okay, so yeah, you do that, and after a short time, you're like, kind of worriedly waiting, not sure how far away it is, you do hear a scuttling sound, and then along the ceiling, you see the form, the eight-legged form of Webster, gleefully coming towards you. It's like, and they just drop down onto their legs on the ceiling, from the ceiling to the floor.
And because we're small, everybody kind of does that little bounce thing, like from them landing. They're just like, yeah. And I'm just like, yay!
Okay, yes, you are still tiny. Ignatius, roll me a d20, please.
Okay. Is this 17.
17. Okay. Thank you. And Zakan, roll me a d4, please.
Ooh. 3.
3. Okay. Where are we at here? Okay. Now, Sirenscape was very obliging, obliging there. As you come out once more into that main cavern area, and you see those mushrooms all piled up there around, and that dark lake pool. Sorry, not dark lake. Sorry, Laura. The pool of water, reflecting the torchlight a little ways away. You hear that roar of sound that came, and you see grey-skinned shapes shambling towards you, kind of medium height, but with really kind of elongated mouths, as a group of Grimlocks comes shambling out. So what was your d4 then, Zakan?
3.
Okay, 3 Grimlocks come out. Now, Zakan, you've heard of these creatures down here in the Underdark before, but... so look here. You've heard of these creatures before, but these are different. And they're different because all of them are sporting 2 heads, which you have seen before. And where are we at here? Boop. Okay.
To Scarfa bigwig mushroom as they're emerging.
Yeah, they're just like roaring and just like lumbering towards you. Yes, and so everyone else, are you also doing the same?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just like nom nom nom. So take away 4 of the bigwigs, please. Whoever's keeping track of those. And these Grimlocks come lurching towards you. Let me find them. Where are they? Aha, found you. Rah.
Laura gestures to Iso like, go shoot, fight somewhere.
Okay. There. And one there. You said 3, didn't you? Okay, so these grey-skinned beasts start just lumbering down the corridor towards you, the cavern towards you. Let's see if we got a nice handout to show you. Oh, this one doesn't have hot links to the handouts. I'll show you this quickly. Boop. Rah. There they are. As they just come lumbering down towards you. And the 2 heads snarling, this nasty bone club with spikes and things hanging out of it, as swinging from one languid long arm, and they just come lumbering down towards you as you pull your weapons, and up to size, this strange pulling sensation, pulling you in all directions as you enlarged up to your normal size once more. And they do look slightly taken aback as this seemingly easy prey suddenly becomes twice as big, and they just come lumbering towards you angrily, confusedly, kind of shaking those 2 heads in frustration, and starts to lumber faster. And we shall stop there. That'll be a nice place to pick up next time.
Planning what weapon to use. I'm like, all right, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna jump over here. I'm gonna slap it in the face.
Now you can have a nice long think about it. What are you going to do? So, thank you so much to my lovely players here. It is always an absolute pleasure. And also to everyone who's joined us. It's been good to have you in chat, and those of you lurking away there as well. Absolutely great to have you all here. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And do join us again next time as we plunge further into the depths of the Wallstone Caverns. And we will try and find the elusive Droki wherever he is headed. I know where he's headed because there are handy-dandy arrows all over my map. But not on theirs. Although I think if Zakan rolls high enough, I might show them. He's like, yes. So your navigation system kicks off. Take the next right. And we will be back here. Elor, Ignatius, Corbin, and Zakan, thank you all so much. It is always an absolute pleasure to be down in the Underdark with you. It would be a horrible place to be without such fine company. But that said, before we say our goodbyes, Ignatius, you have a few things to shout out, do you not?
You caught me off guard.
Sorry. Yeah. What's coming up this week?
Well, Saturday we are doing our mini campaign still on
Woot.
Spelljammer. There we go. I forgot.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, Sylvie's pajama party, D&D pajama party with special guest Carlos Luna.
Carlos Luna, yes, fantastic. So yeah, there's the link in the chat there. Oh, sorry, after that, yep.
Oh no, that's pretty much it for the end of the week, and then back to Twitch Plays with Strahd on first, I guess, Wonton, the One Shot group.
Yep.
That Monday night. So.
Excellent. Okay, so yeah, there's the link in chat, everyone. Give them a follow and enjoy more of their fantastic shows as you get the chance. And if you want to come on by our neck of the woods again, we will be later on today, Thursday, be in the Mists of Barovia once more, continuing our Curse of Strahd game. Then tomorrow, Friday, will be Descent into Avernus, as we are continuing to fight for the freedom of Elturel. It's getting right up to the crescendoing epic finale of that. It's going to be coming very soon, so do not miss the incredible action that's going to unfold there, and bardic action as well. Do look forward to that. And then Saturday evening, I will be over on Quest Junkies UK as we continue our Rodania campaign, Patch's amazing homebrewed world, and you can see me as a player, as a bearfolk, and do come on by and enjoy that. Head on over to those links there, CarniSideShow, Quest Junkies UK, have a look at their schedules. Nerdy Drunken Monkey Goblin. That's too long for my animation there, but thank you so much for the follow. Nice to have you here. I'm glad you had a good time, and we shall see you again, I hope, soon. And then we will be rounding around into next Tuesday. Now, I would usually at this point be shouting out our Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign, but on Tuesday it was the epic finale of Season 1, and that is on a summer break. But fear not, your Tuesdays need not be without Phoenix Iwaki, because for the interim, for the summer break, while Frostmaiden is off, we will be jumping back up to the southern climes, down to the southern climes, I should say, all the way down past the peninsula of Chult and to the steaming jungles and lost pyramids and temples of the Snout of Omgar, the total infested island off the coast of Chult, with these fine people. There is myself as DM. AJ Winters, the fabulous AJ Winters from Roll for Damage and Winter's Tales, will be joining us. She was in our incredible one-shot. Thank you everyone who joined us on Saturday for that. We'll be with Joshua Hodges, who is Toln in Frostmaiden and Firemore in Descent into Avernus. A brand new player to Phoenix Iwaki and to D&D itself. The incredible Chase Lyons, an actor in New York, will be joining us. An old friend from here in Japan, and is going to be joining us to play D&D for the first time. And a friend of people who watch the channel regularly will know Emma, who is in our Curse of Strahd and Descent into Avernus campaigns. Her good friend Aelin will be joining us. He is over in the States, and as you may have seen them in chats from time to time as Sneaky Rogue Thief, they will be joining us in this campaign, as well as someone who you may be able to tell from his photo is here in Japan with me. Andy is joining us as well. He is a old school player. He played older editions, but this will be his first foray into 5th edition, as we will be plunging into the jungles and all of the lost ruins of the Snout of Omgar for a 7-session mini campaign. Join us next Tuesday as that kicks off. We are really excited. Lots of great new characters, lots of incredible backstories for me to play with, and a new location which I cannot wait to delve into, be it briefly, and then that will be until Frostmaiden returns in September. Now, that said, that will bring us all the way back round to the Underdark once more, and all of these fine people as I uncover them once again. So, do stick around as we go raiding and spread the love somewhere else on the Twitchiverse. And as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. But until next time, as we like to say around these parts, matane. See you next time. Thank you. Goodbye.